Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dewayne Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Today's video, I'm going to answer the question, is it irresponsible for anyone to tell the veteran they must or have to go to a VA C&P exam? And also, I'm going to provide my reasons and basis for my answer, so make sure you stick around. Before we get into today's video, make sure you go out to my website, pick up my new book, VA Claim Success. When you purchase it through my website, I will send you a signed copy. So today's topic is a very controversial topic. And the question I'm going to be answering is it irresponsible to inform the veteran that they have to or must go to a C&P exam? Now, I'm going to go off of one scenario. Now, if you leave me a comment and say, Dewayne, what about this scenario? What about this scenario? I'm gonna tell you, I don't know, because I'm not looking at any of that information, okay? So the scenario is irresponsible to inform the veteran if they must or have to go to a C&P exam if they submit an actionable and sufficient DBQ. But before I answer that question, what are the reasons and basis for my answer? One, when I adjudicated my own claim, one of the things I did, well, several times, I submitted an actionable and sufficient DBQ, and I won it every time because I did it based off the VA regulations. Two, as a VA rater, I adjudicated hundreds of claims when veterans submitted an actionable and sufficient DBQ and Nexus if needed. Three, I was trained by the VA when the DBQs came out, when they made them public and said, hey, if the veteran submits an actionable and sufficient DBQ, you must do this, 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 and this. It has nothing to do with accreditation, nothing. I was trained by the VA. So, in this particular scenario, is it irresponsible to tell a veteran they must or they have to go to a C&P exam? And my answer is yes. My last claim, I submitted a claim for increase. I went to my private doctor. They filled the paperwork out. They reviewed my VA claims file, and I submitted it. Received a call. Hey, QTC says you need to show up for an exam. Nope, not doing it. Not doing it. Called the VA, told them I'm not reporting rate with the evidence of record under 38 CFR 3.326 subpart B. I'm gonna say it again. 38 CFR 3.326 subpart B. And it states, not verbatim because I don't have it memorized, I'm gonna paraphrase it. When you have evidence that's sufficient to rate, the VA must use that information to rate the case with no further examination. 38 CFR 3.326 subpart B. Now, subpart A, if the evidence isn't sufficient, you must go to the exam, okay? Because they can't use it to rate, all right? I've rated hundreds of claims where veterans submitted DBQs and Nexus statements if needed. And, I get kind of worked up when I'm talking about this topic, okay? But I was able to grant based off the VA regulation and the training that I received. Now, you don't have to be accredited to know this. We all know how to read. We just go and look at the regulation. You do it per the regulation. You don't have to be an accredited lawyer. You don't have to be an accredited VSO. I'm telling you based off my training as a former VA rater. Okay? Now, let me give you another scenario. I actually had a case where a veteran came in and was claiming tinnitus. And I was a young rater at the time. the VSR scheduled an exam for increase in the veteran's service-connected condition and didn't schedule an exam for tinnitus. Schedule an exam for increase in PTSD, which the veteran was not claiming. The veteran didn't even have a routine future exam. Okay? So I do remember the veteran did have a VSO representing them. Now, instead of the VSO saying, hey, wait a minute. Before you go to that exam, did you do an increase? Nope. You don't have a routine future? Nope. Why are you going to this exam? They requested the wrong exam. And that's exactly what happened. The VSR, new VSR, requested the wrong exam. The veterans was 70%. I'll never forget it. And so I was like, wait a minute, I got to go to find the VSR to see why they did this and see if we can cancel it. So I finally find the VSR and she was like, I'm resigning. She was new. I'm resigning. I got to go home and take care of my husband. I'm like, but I'm trying to understand. Well, I don't work here anymore. I'm resigning today. Really? Yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I go back and I talk to the QRT team, the quality team, and I said, hey, I have this exam. The veteran have this claim. The veteran went to the exam. Even though it was an incorrect exam, and that exam shows improvement, and that 70% has been in effect less than 5 years. Can I just CNC the 70% and say we made a mistake? And the QRT trainer says, no, you have to do a proposal to reduce, because now we have information and evidence showing that that condition has improved. But before you can do that, you have to go ahead and request the claim. You have to request the exam for tinnitus. And I was like, but the veteran didn't claim the increase in the PTSD. They said it didn't matter. Okay, so think about this. I want you to think about something. That VA employee made a mistake, and instead of the VSO telling the veteran, hey, wait a minute, let's pump the brakes, let's get some clarification. I don't think you have to go to this exam because there's no routine future exam. There's no claim for increase. So the VA is saying, hey, this condition is static. They didn't tell the veteran. The veteran went, and guess what happened? So that's another scenario. So make sure if you are submitting a DBQ and Nexus if needed, okay, for increase, secondary, new service connection, whatever, okay, and you feel or you know that that information is sufficient for rating purposes under 38 CFR 3.326 subpart B, then it's up to you to make that final decision if you want to go or not go. Okay, so yes, I think it is highly irresponsible, because the last scenario I gave you, the veteran lost their benefits based on a VA employee's error, and the VSO did not step in and do anything about it. And the veteran got the short end of the stick. But at the end of the day, this is your claim, and you have the final say-so if you want to go to that exam or if you don't want to go. The only thing that I'm telling you, if you submit evidence, any evidence, but in this scenario, DBQ, Nexus statement if needed, take a look at 38 CFR 3.326 subpart B. And if your VSO, claims agent, or attorney tells you, oh, you got to go, give them their regulation. Ask them to read it. And then ask them the question, why did the VA come out with DBQs and still want us to go to these exams? Okay? So with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and don't forget to share this video with your fellow veterans. Thank you.